This is Flyover Film Country. Let's ride!
Welcome back to Flyover Film Country. This is a podcast about movies set in places oft forgotten by America. Hollywood. I'm so tired. And today we're talking about Reminders of Him, which is set in Wyoming. Some pretty good vistas. I would argue it could veritably be a Flyover film based on the standards that we used to hold on our podcast. So, yeah. What do you guys think?
I mean, I think so. Who's ever been to Wyoming? Does anyone know anyone from Wyoming? Is that a real state?
No.
Okay.
I have to just say something up front. I didn't know the movies in Wyoming because in my first time since I've joined as a co-host of Flyover Film Country, I did not watch the movie that we're talking about today.
Whoa.
I know. I had a streak going. I'm not going to ruin my be on the episode streak because I want to keep that going forever, but I didn't watch the movie and I'm going to punish myself. I have to pay penance for not watching the movie, and I'm going to do something that I haven't done since college. So in the spirit of St. Patty's Day, because we're recording on St. Patty's Day, I am going to live on the podcast right now drink an entire bottle of Jameson.
Oh my god.
No, you're not.
Okay.
But it's a tiny one.
It's a tiny one. Okay. Hey, I have a Guinness here. So cheers.
I'm honestly jealous.
This does
I'm
not
really
come out
jealous.
of this fast at all, and it's really hard to drink. But I'll drink it.
Wow.
Oh,
By
like
episode's
over the
over.
course of the episode?
Well, I was going to chug it, but I figured out this neck is too small. I would be sucking on this like a baby sucking on a bottle, and I don't want to do that.
An alcoholic
well-
baby bottle pop.
Yeah.
That was a great intro. I did not know where you were going with that. And I thought initially it was a Guinness
goal.
that you were going to chug, or that you were going to do an Irish car bomb, even though it's not PC anymore. You can't say that. But Olivia, you do have a Guinness.
I do have a Guinness.
You followed
in
up
a
my
Coop
expectations.
L Works glass. So
Nice.
Coop is a local brewery.
You should try to split the C. You know about this on the Guinness?
Oh yeah.
You should try to split the C since you don't have a G.
Should I try that right? I don't know if I should do that. I don't know if that's a good idea.
Is that a lot?
That'd
So
be a decent amount to
That'd
drink.
be,
all
that'd
of
be
it.
a
Decent
couple.
amount.
That'd be a couple glugs.
A few
God, I want a
glugs.
Guinness
Hey,
really bad right
listen,
now.
I've already had a few
Me too.
Hey, a few Guinnesses?
a few small beers.
I've had a few.
You like beer, Senator?
I love them. I love them.
I love them. Let's see how many random things we can quote before we actually start talking about this movie.
I would prefer to talk about the Oscars as opposed to Reminders of Him, but you know what? This is the bed that I made, so
This is the bed that you specifically made.
to sleep in with both of you.
We're just gonna get real snug.
Yeah.
Snug as a bug.
Two bugs. Like two bugs in a rug.
Thank you.
I think we
Thank
decided
you,
to do
Savannah.
Reminders of Him. It was my idea, right?
Yes,
yeah.
it was.
Okay. The listener at home, he's pouring the shot. That's like Is it
What?
about-
That's more than a shot.
Two
That's
shots?
more than a shot, yeah.
But
All
you
right,
already drank
cheers.
a shot, right?
Cheers.
It wasn't a shot. I drank I'm telling you, nothing would come out of this bottle. I've never drank out of one of these before, and nothing would come
Be like
out
a
of
little
it.
trickle.
But to my Irish brethren out there,
That's
cheers.
right.
Happy St. Patty's Day. St. Patrick was a really cool guy, cool story, but he did not drive any snakes out of Ireland because they've never existed there because it's too cold. But cheers.
Cheers, and may God bless you on the rocky road to Dublin.
Update, I did it.
Woo!
Did you?
Split the
Oh
C.
wow, that was really good.
Nice.
It
How
was
many
actually
glugs
not that
was
hard.
that, Olivia?
Just like two, and it was two
Okay.
small ones. It wasn't even two big ones.
A few small sips.
A few small beers, a few small sips.
I do want to. We have a lot to discuss with this movie, but I do want to say congratulations to One Battle After Another for winning Best Picture, and congratulations to Ryan Coogler for winning Best Original Screenplay for Sinners, and Autumn Durald Arkapaw, the first female to win Best Cinematographer in the history of the Academy Awards. It was
98 years.
Wow.
98 years, a really, really amazing achievement. I feel like that's all I really want to say about the Oscars. Michael B. Jordan for Best Actor.
Hey, I was very excited about all the winners. I felt like this was 2025 was such a good year for film. And it was so fun to see all of those people win and be genuinely excited. Like, the discourse we see online is so annoying because PTA and Ryan Coogler and Chloe Zhao, like, they were all very excited for each other. It was really, really cool. And so I had a great time watching the Oscars this year.
I didn't know this until today, but Joachim Trier, who directed Sentimental Value and Worst Person in the World, Chloe Zhao, and Ryan Coogler were all at Sundance at the same time. So they're like homies, which is really cool.
That's
awesome. Yeah,
he was pretty supportive
really
of each
sweet.
other that
Awesome.
evening. So anyway,
I would love to shout out Irish actor Jessie Buckley for winning, because she deserved it. She swept all the major awards, and she's incredible performance in Hamnet. She deserved it. Even though I loved Emma Stone's performance in Begonia as well, but
she was so good in Begonia.
Yeah. But yeah, Jessie Buckley's great, and she's Irish, and it's freaking St. Patty's Day.
That's right.
And Isaac's not wearing green, and I would pinch him if I was there with him right now. So
I'm not wearing green. I wore green yesterday. I feel like that would be fine. I feel like
that's
the Irish,
not how it works.
So yeah. No one pinched me today. I was at a civic engagement thing like all day. No one pinched me. I did tell one person, if you pinch me, I'll sue you, and they laughed. So
that's really
speaking of lawsuits, should we talk about Reminders of Him?
Yeah.
I don't know how to start this off. Other than wait. Let's start with the cast and crew, because I put in some effort to.
Is that a long drink?
Put this. Yep. Oh, nice. You are getting.
I had one of those earlier too.
We're feeling
it's
good.
It's gonna be me this weekend.
I was telling Livia, I had a really long
weekend.
day yesterday. I had a really, really long day yesterday.
Your trip.
Yeah, that turned out to. I was going to Fort Lauderdale for work, and I flew through Atlanta. So I flew to Atlanta, woke up at 3 a.m., flew to Atlanta, and my flight got canceled to Fort Lauderdale, and what I needed to do for work was at a specific time, and all the rest of the flights to Fort Lauderdale would get me there too late, so I flew back to Little Rock. Awesome day of work for me yesterday.
You know whose fault this is?
Who?
Pete Hegseth.
That's true. That's true.
It is. Anyway, I don't know how to segue from that. I'm sorry, Walker. Sorry, buddy. That's not fun at all. I did have to do that in September. I woke up at 3:30 to get to the airport, except I was able to get to St. Louis, which is where I was going. I didn't have to wait and then come back because of a connecting flight issue. So sorry about that.
Thank you.
Reminders of Him stars. Okay, is it Micah Monroe? Did anyone get to the bottom of this? Micah? I've been saying Micah this whole time.
I think we just stay with our, be consistent.
Tried and true.
Stay with what we've been doing.
Micah Monroe, Tyreek Withers, Rudy Pankow, Lauren Graham, Bradley Whitford, Lainey Wilson, and it's directed by... Whoops, hold on. I did not copy over the...
Her first name is Vanessa. I don't know why I remember that. Hold on.
Vanessa Caswell.
Vanessa Caswell. We got there.
Love at First Sight and Little Women miniseries. I wonder which miniseries. she worked on. But a couple other people. So Lauren Levine co-wrote with Colleen Hoover. Colleen Hoover produced. Lauren Levine also produced, and she was a producer on Bridge of Terabithia. And then Gina Matthews was also a producer, and she worked on 13 Going on 30 and Isn't It Romantic? This film has a pretty good score that's going to come up here and there as we discuss, but I want to know one thing. So, like, I think I'm not as, like I know this isn't the type of genre that any of us love to discuss or watch in our free time. But the thing I was like, my brain was just totally activated by how much I like wasn't responding to the movie. And I wanted to, I think this is a good place to start. I wanted to pose to you guys the question of like, how much of the stuff, and Walker didn't see this movie, but I'll ask the question anyway. How much of this, the tropes of rom-coms are acceptable when you're dealing with really heavy issues like accidental death, your child being taken away from you, and living in poverty?
Yeah.
Because to me, that's like what I was just like, I feel like this can't be excused. I feel like this film deserves a lot more ridicule than it's receiving because of the way it depicts either like in too brief a, you know, explanation, like being like lactating in prison and because you can't feed your baby, which is like really sad, but then moved on from like immediately. And then, you know, struggling to find a job and then being separated from your child. I don't know. Do you know what I'm trying to ask, Olivia? I feel like this movie can't be forgiven for that, and I think it deserves like some marks against it.
Part of that, I think, is Colleen Hoover as a writer. So, full disclosure, I've never read Colleen Hoover. I don't know anyone who has really loved her writing. Of my friends who have like read anything from her, the only like any sort of positive feedback that she has her writing has gotten is for the what is that new movie coming out? Verity? Yeah, that book,
and that's like a different genre too,
which is more of a psychological thriller, and so
Right.
I think that also matters. But the rest of her writing is I haven't heard great things about it. So now I've never read it, so I can't really say much about it. But as far as this film goes, which of course is what we're talking about, is the film, is that it wants so badly to touch on these really significant and difficult topic, like heavy topics, right? Like what you were saying of an accidental death that leads to someone being put in prison, having to go through pregnancy in prison and giving birth in prison, and then having to give your baby, like, is taken from you because that's where you're at, and dealing with lactating while you're there, and that the prison system obviously is very flawed, and there's a lot, especially for women who are in that system. And I can't even begin to imagine what that experience is like. And I don't even, I think what I'm getting hung up on is that it wants to be more serious than it is, but also it wants to kind of be sort of
funny and like charming and like slapsticky.
Yeah.
Or not
and
slapsticky.
So if it were to lean into Little Woods, that film by Nia DaCosta, right? Little Woods. it could have
movie.
that same feel to it if they really leaned into that sort of thing, but they don't. And it could be
At
sort
all.
of at all, like at all. Everything is, it feels like the actors are phoning it in, which the cast is good. I really like this cast. I mean, you know, most of us probably know Micah Monroe from Long Legs. We've talked about that. You know, Isaac and Walter did an episode over Long Legs. I watched it later, and so we spent some time talking about it on an episode. You know, we talked about Tyreek.
Withers is pretty good.
Right. I love Lauren Graham. I mean, most women my age know her from Gilmore Girls, but also she's in Parenthood. She was in one of my favorite movies that I watched growing up called The Pacifier with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
And so love The Pacifier. It's a movie that my family still quotes today. And, you know, Bradley Whitford, we love Bradley Whitford. He's so good. So great cast. And I don't think, like, I just don't think that anyone was trying that hard. And I don't know. So,
it felt like everything was filmed with one take. Yep, that's good. Let's move on.
That's good. We did it. Moving on. So
yeah, go ahead, Walker.
I was going to say, well, that's something you want people to say about your movies. But I think what you're talking about, Isaac, and describing is like really one of the biggest criticisms of Colleen Hoover and her books. And that, you know, they often depict really, you know, I mean, a lot of times abuse and trauma and a lot of crazy events. And then it's not taken seriously at all. I mean, I don't know if you guys remember this. There was a big, when It Ends With Us the book came out, there was this huge drama because Colleen Hoover planned to release a coloring book about, like, based on that.
What? Book. No, I don't know anything about that. What?
Yeah, that was a huge thing, and they ended up not doing it because of the backlash. Because, of course, like, this is a movie about domestic violence, and you're going to release a coloring book about it. And I think that, you know, there's, I mean, at the end of the day, there's no way to get away from that. Like, when they're making her books into movies, like, that feeling I think is always going to be there because, a lot of times she doesn't take these things as seriously as they should be taken. And so there's this weird just feeling around them. And I know that I haven't even seen the movie, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
But I wonder, so, you know, I'm thinking about a couple other things I heard today just in terms of, you know, younger people are going to see movies and studios are really trying to predict like what people will want to go see, and that's why so much money is being pumped into, you know, Avengers and Marvel, even though and especially the big ones like Doomsday, because and Avatar is this way too, where like these big movies, they're banking on people who usually don't go to movies coming out, just like a ton of them going out to see it during Christmas, and then that will get them a ton of money. And so I guess, like, are the people, or like, you know, primarily women, I would say, and their boyfriends who are going to see Reminders of Him, just like these sorts of, this is like Colleen Hoover is the new Nicholas Sparks. Nicholas Sparks movies are not rom-coms. They're just roms, like romance, like drama romances.
Yeah.
That are not like super funny. This movie has like tries to be funny a couple times, and I don't think it really works. Unintentionally, the Phoebe Bridgers needle drops are really funny.
Okay, I want to talk about that real
they're
quick.
like in pretty poor taste, I would say, both times.
Yeah. So the scene that Isaac's referring to is that Micah Monroe, who plays Kenna, is in the truck with Tyreek Withers, who plays Ledger, and she's talking about how she doesn't listen to music because all songs are sad, which is
okay. I want to come back to that. I want to come back to that because that made me just like snicker to myself so hard. I was like,
yeah, which is not true, but also kind of funny.
What if someone didn't like music? Genius idea, Colleen Hoover.
Yeah, very, very cynical, but not like really saying anything about anything.
Dumb. Yeah.
And the very first, he goes ahead and plays the song. He turns on the radio, and the first song that plays is a Phoebe Bridgers song, which Phoebe Bridgers, for those of you who don't listen to her, is known for just being being super sad.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons I love her. I personally love sad music. And the song that is playing is Funeral by Phoebe Bridgers, and the line is, Jesus Christ, I'm so blue all the time. And it made me laugh out loud. Yeah, she's like, see? And that was funny. And no one else in my theater laughed, just me. Because I was the only person under the age of 35 in the theater. Probably 40, honestly.
Yeah.
Besides the 10-year-old boy who was there with his family for whatever reason. Don't know why you would bring a 10-year-old to see that movie, but whatever. Anyway. Also, what's funny about that is that song is not, I don't know if that song's ever been played on the radio.
Yeah.
Especially in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming.
So, okay. In 2017 too.
Yeah, it came out when we were in college, or when Walker was in high school. And so like
I graduated in 2017. I could have been in college if it came out later in the year.
There you go.
And I could have not been in college, actually, I guess. So who's to say, truly? But yeah, so it's just funny because it's like a song that definitely would not be on the radio. Anyway, Isaac, back to you.
Okay, so
Big yawn.
The other needle drop that made me just laugh, ironically, was she's thinking about what's her fiance's name, played by Rudy Pankowski, Scotty, who we know is dead, because the movie starts with him.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Isn't a key plot point that Tyreek Withers is this guy's best friend?
Yes.
Okay, let me get to this. I'm about to go like Walter Moonfall.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'm not going to do the hold on thing because that infuriated me. But like, yes, this plot does not make sense at all. But real quick, the needle drop that she's thinking about Scotty because she like writes letters to him even though he's dead because it helps her apparently.
Yeah.
So
it's like me. I text Kobe every once in a while, but you know.
Okay, Jason Tatum.
Whoa. My sister has a dog named Kobe, and that's who I thought of at first.
Yeah, I text your sister's
that's
dog.
my fatigue-addled brain. But anyway, so it cuts to a flashback, but it starts with the Phoebe Bridgers Lord Huron collab on The Night We Met, which is an amazing song.
Great song.
But I was like, why play this in a flashback that's like way oversaturated? It looks like the sun is like blindingly bright coming through this
not
store.
Not a night.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a night. And that's the other thing too. I was like, this is not the night they met. They've known each other for a while and it's daytime. So anyway, okay. This is the plot of the movie, Walker. She gets out of prison. She stops a cab on a long stretch of rural road. And she says, stop the... Yeah, she is in a cab coming from a prison. And it is like, there is not a prison back where you're coming from. Like, that's the first thing I was like, there's not a prison. This is too beautiful. She stops the cab. She goes over and knocks over... She kicks over a cross that has Scotty on it. And she takes it into the cab and leaves the flowers strewn everywhere. And then she goes to try to find a job. And like there's this rundown motel that's been turned into apartments. And she's like, she signs, this is what it is. She has cash. She signs the lease. Then she tries to go get a job. She's like walking around different parts of downtown. And you're like, okay, this looks like the street where the motel is on. But then it cuts to like a different part of town, and you can tell it is like a different town. Like you're like this is a completely different place. And so for me, I'm like, okay, that's really annoying. Because it's like, okay, I'm walking in a downtown setting. I'm walking on a long road with like agricultural processing, like rice mills and stuff. And it's like, okay, how far have you been? You've been walking like all day for hours and stuff.
Okay. To add to that, Walker, so you have a better visual of this. Yeah. It looks like there are 3 roads in this whole town, but they're all like miles away from each other. There's like the downtown area.
Yes, they shoot multiple scenes at like throughout the movie at these like same locations. It's like they're somehow connected, but you don't know how.
But it all looks like it's like one like very long road,
right?
That just goes for miles, because it's for sure trying to give you that small town feel.
Yeah.
But it definitely is like, are you just bouncing from one small town to another, and you're just like driving like 20 miles down the road to get to the next small town? Because like Ledger, Tyreek Weathers' character, lives across the street from his best friend's parents who are raising the daughter, and their neighborhood looks like it's in a completely different town than the downtown.
It looks
area.
like it's in a Georgia suburb.
Yeah. Which this probably was filmed in some sort of Georgia, set backlot somewhere.
Yeah, Georgia and Wyoming. So so then she finally doesn't find a job
because they won't hire her because she has a record.
Because no one will hire her, and they're at a diner and they need help really badly, and she's like, we don't hire people with a record. which is not true. Have you ever gone into a Waffle House? I guarantee you every single person who's ever worked at a Waffle House.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
I say this with the utmost respect for Waffle House employees. They are truly the unsung heroes of America. They're doing the Lord's work.
They're doing God's work,
They're doing God's work. What have I told you guys? I'm going to tell you guys a story about my experience at a Waffle House one time. This was in my adult life. This was living back here in Oklahoma. I went to Waffle House one night after a great pickleball run with some friends, with my friends Tyler and Scott, and it was like 11 o'clock at night, and we're the only people there. And the Waffle House employees, someone comes in, and it looks like this is another employee. And they all just like leave for a smoke break. Probably not just smoking a cigarette.
Right.
Probably smoking other things. But hey, again, unsung heroes. And so they just leave us unsupervised in this Waffle House. And we were like, can we go back there? Like, what are they gonna do? We didn't, but we really considered going back behind the counter because we were just like, what if we got another waffle? What are they gonna do? Nothing.
My Waffle House claim to fame is that I've eaten the steak and eggs, and I didn't die.
And
Isaac,
you didn't die.
I've eaten the steak and eggs at Waffle House.
Have we talked about this?
No. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I ordered the steak one time because I was just like, I have to see what it's like. It was literally gray all the way through. I don't even know how it's possible to cook it the way they did.
So, would not recommend?
It was like done.
Yeah, and it just tasted like pepper. So if you like pepper,
okay.
I had some Chewies for lunch today, and the way that they cook their steak is bizarre because I looked at it and I was like, I'm gonna get some of this, but it looks like it is completely overcooked and dried out.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the steak they use is like ribeye. It's like good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and I like pulled it out, bit into it, and I was like, oh, this is like very, juicy and tender, but it was like not rare. It was
interesting.
Cooked through, well done, but not dried out. Chewy's is the only place I know who can cook steak like that.
Yeah.
So
what a weird. Can I tell a quick Waffle House story real quick?
Yes.
I always think it's so funny. So I went to college at Henderson in Arkadelphia, which is a small town, and like right outside of Arkadelphia is this even smaller place called Caddo Valley. but there is a Waffle House there. So that's where the Henderson and OBU students will go late at night. And we're there one night.
Knife fights.
Yeah. We always knife fight each other.
It's West Side Story.
Yeah, exactly. We all come out snapping and I legitimately though have been at Waffle House at like 2 a.m. and seen OBU students asked to pray for their waitress. Yeah.
Isaac, be real. Was that Jess?
Jess is too. She's not the type of Christian with the personality to pray for someone.
Right.
Fair.
I think she would
didn't
agree.
think it was. I didn't think she would do that.
That's a great thing in my book.
Wait, did you tell it? Was that your story?
No, that was not the story.
Okay. I figured you weren't done.
One time we go to Waffle House very late at night, and they bring out our silverware, and mine was like, it had not been cleaned at all. Like someone had eaten with it, and they had given it to me. So I tell our waitress, "Hey, my silverware is dirty," and she goes, "Oh, okay," and then she walks away, and I was like, "Oh, I guess like she's not giving me." She comes back with a cup of hot water and picks my silver up and sticks it in there and walks away.
That's incredible.
Did she bring you clean silverware?
No, that was what she expected me to eat with that after putting in the hot water. That she cleaned
That's
it.
Hilarious.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So okay, I have a quick my Waffle House story is pretty quick. And then we can get back to Kenna's woes at not being able to be hired due to her horrible record and the fact that she was in prison. Went to Waffle House with the girl I dated in college that Olivia knows who I'm talking about. And we sat down. Were you here for this, Olivia?
I don't know.
You may have been.
Tell the story. I don't know. I was just
goes,
thinking, did we ever go to Waffle House together? But I don't know.
She goes, I order, and then she looks at the waitress and goes, "Yeah, could I have a pancake?" And the waitress just looks at her like she wants to kill her. She goes, "We only have waffles."
No, but I remember you telling me the story in college.
And that's when
goes,
Isaac knew.
I'll have a waffle. Yeah.
That's when Isaac knew it wasn't going to work out.
She's so sweet, though. I'm not. It was just
I'm honestly surprised that the waitress didn't just bring out a waffle. Because I've heard of people ordering pancakes. Like, someone else we went to college with, I'm not going to say who it is, because I'm not positive if it is this person, but there was someone else we went to college with. I'm not going to put him on blast, who ordered a pancake, and they just brought her a waffle. So,
you know what? And as they should. That's their right as Waffle House employees. If you're ordering a pancake, they'll bring you a waffle.
You're going to waffle.
And you know
it's
what?
The same thing.
You should be happy about it because it's good. It's good. It's delicious.
Yeah. So back to Kenna.
Yes.
She does not get a job at the diner because she's got a record. And so she wanders into this bar that used to be a bookstore that's owned by Ledger, not Landry.
Ledger is we know that, I mean, from the trailer you kind of know that he's Scotty's best friend and that they're the ones who are gonna be together at the end of the movie and raise the daughter and everything's gonna be fine. We don't know how he came to like be back here, but there's a really weird, like the first time we see Ledger, he gives one of his employees a mug and it's a Denver Broncos mug. And I was like, what? And then like, I'm not kidding you, like 30 or 40 minutes later, they explain like why it was a Denver Broncos mug. Yeah. And it was because he was older. I think he was a year older than Scotty. And he went to go like from high school to go play for the Broncos. And he knew
what
this. Okay, this is where it's like, this is so dumb. Like a 12th grader or a 12th grader could have like thought through this plot to make it a little more airtight.
Mm-hmm.
He never knew what Kenna looked like, even though he said like, well, I lost touch with Scotty. It's like, okay, but even if you were losing touch with her, like if he was your best friend and you were only gone for like 6 months or 3 months or whatever, you would have got pictures of this girl.
Yeah.
And he said like, well, I did see pictures of her, but she looked way different in her mugshot.
Mugshot is what he said. I saw mugshot.
So that night in the bar, the first time he comes in, he's like, you know, they're flirting and there's chemistry and stuff. And he asks her out the next time she comes in, I think.
But she knew exactly who he was.
But she knew who he was, I think, the next time.
No, I think she knew who he was from the beginning.
But that's the other thing is, like, Scotty never showed her a picture of Ledger.
So, okay, I have a question
Playing for the Broncos?
For the fellas. Because that's stuff that we ladies would have figured out immediately.
Yeah.
As soon as I get a first name, or even first and last name, if I have both, I'm for sure looking him up.
Yeah.
So like,
and this is not like
guys,
early 2000s. This is like they are using smartphones.
Okay.
Right. So like, yeah, is that not something you guys share with each other? I feel like that's like pretty common, right?
Yeah.
To be like, yeah, this is right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Isaac's right 100% that he would have got pictures. Also, can I point out that you cannot, it is against the rules to graduate high school and then play professional football in the NFL. It's not that, like, it's rare. It is, you actually cannot do it. Like, you can't. It's not possible. Sorry, not happening.
I didn't interpret it as that though, Isaac. Like I just assumed they were just completely forgetting to include that he went to college somewhere. I assumed that they were older because they all look like they are in their late 20s, early 30s. But, you know, that's also how
maybe I am understanding
it's
it
always
wrong,
been,
but
you know, Beverly Hills
they don't
90210.
mention do they mention like
I don't think they ever mentioned, now that you said it though,
like,
I don't think they ever mentioned
working
him. Yeah.
He decided to work, but
they don't ever
I
mention
went to college and well, maybe the book goes into more detail on that stuff, and that's where I'm trying to give it like the benefit of the doubt, but I'm just like, no, he would have known what she looked like.
Because the NFL, you have to be in college for 2 years, 1 year.
I think it's at least 2.
I think it's at least 2 because I think that's the reason why Johnny Manziel didn't go earlier is that he had to be in college for 2 years.
Remember Johnny Manziel?
So, and then
Johnny Manziel?
Is that Johnny Manziel? Yeah, in the NBA, it's 1 year of college.
Right. Now,
LeBron James, his class was the last class to go straight from high school. I think the MLB you can go, and you can get
NHL? Drafted. You can get drafted out of high school for baseball.
Yeah, I think you can for hockey too. I don't know that for a fact. Anyway, not the point.
The idea that a high school has a hockey team is just so far out of my brain.
Sure. Yeah, that's northern flyover country.
Right.
That's not where we're at.
Yeah.
So
it's a different middle of
nowhere. They meet. Going back to this movie, they meet at this bar that he has bought. It used to be a bookstore. That's why she went there. And it's no longer a bookstore. And he is very into her. Again, doesn't recognize her, which is mind-blowing to me. But whatever. Part of me was like, maybe this is just guys. I don't know. But
I think
women, they all look the same to us.
No, just guys just don't talk about things.
Well, and let me say this.
Well, that's true too.
Right. Like, I have no idea. Like, Isaac has talked about his job, but I really don't know what it is, to be honest, and I've never asked either. So that's that's on me.
Mm-hmm. So guys just don't ask questions.
Right.
Mm.
But I'll say this, that if my best friend, were they like in a, I don't even know 100%, but my guess is they're in a car crash and she had some drinks or something and he died and she lived. Is that what happened?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, and then
So
more implausibility coming soon. We get one scene where she's okay, the scene with Lord Huron and Phoebe Bridgers the night we met, where it's like their meet cute, but you can tell that he knows her and he's trying to ask her out, and it's like I was like squinting at the screen because it was so bright. I was like, ugh. And so and then it's like, and then a little bit later you get another flashback and it's his birthday and they're having lunch or dinner with her parents, and you get the sense that they're just not comfortable with her because she's like little, like she plays it fast and loose, and she's kind of, like definitely not acting like she's like that, but kind of dressed like it, and they're just kind of like, oh, we just don't approve of this girl, And so what ends up happening is, I think Olivia went to go get another Guinness. What ends up happening is that they go to a really beautiful Wyoming, like freshwater lake, and they swim naked, and they take a gummy. They each have a gummy. He was pressuring her to have one. She's like, no, you take it and then I'll drive us. And he's like, no, I can't do it by myself. So they're driving, and I need Olivia to correct me when she gets back, but I'm pretty sure what happens is like they're driving back and they're both conscious and they're fine.
Yeah.
But they hit like a huge rock in the road, in the gravel road. And it doesn't damage the car or anything, but it just like and she's driving and makes them go off the road and crash. And then she gets out. She can't feel a pulse because on his arm, and you find out later it's because his arm is broken. And so she's like, okay, I gotta go see if I can go get some help, but she thinks he's dead.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, there's a bit where the first truck we see her encounter on the road like ignores her and just like keeps driving. Which would never happen because she's like covered in blood. Yeah. And like someone would be like, oh my gosh, what is going on here?
Yeah.
Like that was the one thing. And then she walks and walks and walks, and then she like falls down, walks through the rain. And then it basically happens like you left him and you were you left him. Did you know that he was still breathing when you left him? And she gets sent to prison for like 7 years and then has their baby in prison. And they say like you can have your baby for 48 hours before we took it away, which is a true thing, which is a real thing. I looked it up. That's like pretty standard procedure. I think that there are some prison systems, because I think there's one actually over at UAMS here in Little Rock where they have a maternal ward where they can like nurse their babies, which I think is like what it should be like.
Yeah.
But I was uncertain. But I looked it up, and apparently it's like you get the baby for 48 hours after it's born. But then she doesn't get to have her baby because she was born early and her lungs were still developing. So they took her off to the NICU, and they never brought the baby back to like see her, which I don't think would happen.
Yeah.
So I went to the bathroom and I texted you guys that. 2, it was his parents. It was Scotty's parents, not her parents that
Which
they
I
were
said
with.
her parents.
You said hers.
Damn it.
Yeah, idiot.
We don't. She's homeless, or she's not homeless. She's an orphan. She doesn't.
She's
have
an orphan.
parents.
Yeah.
She's an
Probably
orphan
why
and
she's
homeless.
like just the way she is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and like, yeah, so they make it seem like she's this like, or his parents are like kind of uppity, which is funny because Scotty looks like a stoner. Like, and again,
well, and he
no
is,
judgment.
I guess.
And
right?
he is because he takes a gummy.
Like having those gummies.
And also the car wreck scene I thought was interesting because they don't hit a rock, they hit a pothole. And it's like the pothole, I guess, was deep enough that it caused the car to flip, which is wild to me. Like,
it was just like an implausible crash.
What?
An implausible.
Yeah,
I told
also,
Walker. Yeah,
also
yeah.
Isaac failed to mention that Coldplay's Yellow is playing through this whole scene.
This was another. I was like laughing out loud.
It was such a wild. The needle drops in this film are fascinating, just wild.
Oh my gosh.
So he's, Scotty is in the passenger seat, passenger princess, stoned out of his mind, singing Yellow very poorly, which, like, hey, we've all been there.
Yeah.
So he he's singing, and then she starts singing, and then hits this massive pothole that flips their car. And yeah, she can't feel a pulse, so she thinks he's dead. And I would just like to say,
because his arm was broken, which I don't.
His arm was like pinned.
I think you would still be able to feel a pulse.
I think you would still be able to feel a pulse. I don't know.
I'll
just
Google
like
that.
basic anatomy.
Yeah, please Google that. And yeah, so she's she's been in this really bad wreck, and she's covered in like blood. She looks disheveled. And I would like to say it is not surprising to me that people just drove past her, because I've listened to enough true crime docs or podcasts where they've talked about like women who've come out of the woods and have been in really horrible situations and walked for miles. So that was the most believable part of this whole movie, honestly.
I would like to
Not to me.
confirm that the majority of the time you can feel a pulse if someone's arm.
Okay.
I think what they said was like the circulation was cut off. Now that I'm thinking about it,
Yeah, his arm was
but
pinned.
still,
Can I want to say something too.
Please do.
I don't care. Like, what is she gonna do for him if he's alive? What do they expect for her to do? What the best thing for her to do is to go get help? No, like, what was she gonna do that kept him alive long enough for some random person to find them apparently on this remote road?
And they were in the middle of nowhere, and I think the issue is she somehow gets back to her apartment, ? Or his apartment, and they find her like collapsed on the floor. Now, my guess is she was probably in shock, and the adrenaline was what kept her going long enough to get to her home base. And as soon as she got in through the door, she probably just passed out.
Yeah.
So she fled the scene. So of course that looks suspicious. She was high, and that was probably still in her system when she was arrested.
Well, let me ask you a question real quick.
Please do.
How long do we think after she took this weed gummy was she found by the police?
They make it seem like it's pretty soon after.
Okay.
yeah,
Interesting.
because the sun's like
who knows?
setting whenever they
Yeah.
are canoodling.
I'm just curious because, like, there's this lawyer that I've
Does
seen.
stay
I
in your
used to
system
see-
for a long time too.
Yeah, THC can be in your system. Like, you cannot have smoked in a month and you can test positive
Right.
for THC.
Right.
Like, but I was asking because there's like this lawyer that I used to see on TikTok who's really funny, who would post videos after he would get someone off of like a DUI and would like selfie video outside the courthouse, like, this person crashed into a minivan full of kids and I just got them off. Like,
Wow.
literally, I'm not joking, real lawyer. And
I believe you.
he would give people advice, like, if you are drinking and driving and do so, like, he would say, like, if you're drinking and driving and you crash your car, and then, like, you should leave. He's like, what you should do is leave and then come back. And when the police are like, oh, are you drunk? You're like, yeah, the wreck stressed me out so much. Went and got drunk and came back. And he's like, and they cannot do shit about it. He's like, they can't do anything about it.
That's
You're good.
really funny. That's
So I was just saying,
hilarious.
her defense attorney was not that good if he didn't get her
No,
off.
I don't think she had a good lawyer. It
was
very
going
much
to
seemed
jail.
like she was very poor, had no support whatsoever, and his parents did not seem to like her at all. At all. And so
They
yeah.
even say, one of them, I think Lauren Graham says, like, You looked so unremorseful that day in the courtroom.
Well, so no. Ledger says that to her, and he wasn't even there. He was like, "Yeah, Scotty's parents said you looked his parents said this. The lawyers said this, and the jury said, like, everyone said that you looked unremorseful." And which is crazy to say about someone who was in a car wreck that killed your boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
she's still in shock. I don't know. People don't understand grief very well.
Right.
And so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole thing the whole movie just feels like a privileged white woman's fantasy of like getting herself into a situation so that she can get out of it in a way that she wants to happen. Someone who's wealthy and strong and owns a bar and has integrity, and there's like an enemies to lovers dynamic, and it was just well a little embarrassing, but
which wasn't even like a very good enemies to lovers dynamic. Like, listen, here's how I feel about a lot of like stuff. Like what you like, enjoy what you enjoy.
Right.
If you really like these sort of cheesy books, great.
Yeah, not making
That's
you feel
fine.
bad. It's just how
I think that a lot of people who are fans of Colleen Hoover act like she is God's gift to modern literature. And I would say she's probably not. I don't know who is. I don't read modern literature like that, but it feels like she's trying to say something without actually saying something. All the criticism I've seen about One Battle After Another, I feel like is actually what should be said about Colleen Hoover's books. People are just so it feels lackluster and empty.
Yeah. So all of that, right, to say, I would 100% know what the woman who was in a car crash that killed my best friend looked like.
Yeah.
And as she walked into my bar, I would immediately recognize her. Even if I had never seen her, before the car wreck, I would definitely know what she looked like afterwards. Mm-hmm. And two, I like stuff that I know is not the most amazing, world-changing art, but I like it, and that's totally fine. So, like, you can like Colleen Hoover books and also recognize that they also kind of are shitty, and she can suck in different ways. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Like, both can be true, Not everything you like has to be world-changing and beautiful, incredible art. Like, I love Vanderpump Rules, and that it actually is world changing, but it's definitely not beautiful art. It's shit tier reality TV, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
it's S tier, S for shit.
Yeah, literally.
Isaac, what were you gonna say?
Okay. There are two like icky things that I remembered that I was gonna share to see what Walker's reaction is. The first is that like they have sex for the first time after like it builds up and builds up, and they have sex, and he wakes up in her bed and it's raining outside.
An air mattress, by the way.
Yeah, it's an air mattress that
the first time they have sex is on an air mattress.
Well, it may have been on the couch.
It could have been on the couch.
I think it started on the couch.
Couch to air mattress.
Couch to air mattress.
I'm gonna wait to say what I was gonna say.
Please wait.
Have you had sex on an air mattress?
Well, no, I was gonna say I haven't, but I have slept on an air mattress.
Oh, yeah.
I think having sex on it would be pretty hard.
Yeah.
I don't feel like it would be fun or enjoyable.
Yeah.
You could do it to say you've done it. Gives me an idea.
You want me to get it out of the closet and blow it up? You want me to report back? Like, is that what you're saying?
So she's writing in her notebook, and she has like these stacks of like composite notebooks.
When you said writing, I thought you said
but
writing.
You meant like R-I-D-I-G.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I guess we're going to talk about it.
She's writing.
Writing.
When he wakes up, and in the composite notebook, and Olivia's gone. he goes, "What are you writing?" And she goes, "You're not gonna like it." And he says, "No, come over here and read it to me." And I kid you not, this is how it starts. It's like one of the letters to Scotty, and she goes, "Scotty, I just had sex with your best friend."
That's how it starts.
And it is like just so icky and weird and messed up.
She goes on to say it wasn't as good as it was with you.
What? What is the message of this movie at this like?
Who's to say? I don't know.
I was hoping Olivia could tell us.
What?
I was hoping Olivia could tell us. You know people's brains, you know?
Well, so I mean, you included this in the agenda that you put together for us. There are attempts at themes here, you know, talking about motherhood and forgiveness and redemption, and there are just little flashes of that where it's like, you know, this could have been so good,
or at least like interesting.
Yeah.
But if you only dedicate one scene to it, then that's not enough, and it just feels lazy.
And I don't know. I haven't worked in DHS, so I don't know this for sure. I don't know if her rights would have been terminated as a parent just like that.
I don't think they would have. I think most, especially conservative states,
accidental manslaughter.
Yeah.
Now, if she had straight up killed him, like that's a different story. Right. But like this is an accidental manslaughter.
She got
case.
7 years for accidental.
It was 7 years, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was 7 years, and she got out early. She got out 2 years early.
Okay. The other thing I was gonna go ahead.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen cases where it's like pretty clear that someone killed someone.
Mm-hmm.
And they have to do manslaughter for whatever reason, and it's like way less than 7. It's like
2 years,
2 or 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so okay. The other thing that I was gonna tell Walker was, she starts working at the bar, and how you find out that, and this is like a lot longer into the movie than you would think it would be, where it's like, okay, why did he come back? And we haven't even talked about like DM, their daughter, which is like a stupid name. Like, sorry,
stupid name.
It's a stupid
Every time
name.
they
Makes
said
me
DM,
mad.
I was like, what does DM stand for? I thought it was like D.M, like DW.
But it's DIEM apparently. So you don't know why Ledger has come back. You don't know why Ledger's come back, but there's two things. She starts working at the bar, and she comes into the waiting, or like the office that's kind of small, but they're like hanging out in there, and she goes, "What are all the mugs in here?" And he goes, because there's like dozens of mugs nailed up around the wall, on the walls, harkening back to like the very beginning of the movie when he opens that Denver Broncos mug, and he goes, his buddy,
not Tyreek
Ledger's
Withers.
buddy. Yeah. He goes, every week I'm sober, he buys me a new mug. And Micah Monroe just goes, huh? And it's like all they say about it.
Yeah.
There's like one other scene when he's like, it was before she started working at the bar. Ledger and his buddy have a exchange, and he goes, she's a bad person, she left him to die. And then he goes, hey man, maybe you're being a little hard on her. I was at my worst and you gave me another chance. And then he goes, what are they doing out there, Olivia? They're like out in the back, and they're not smoking.
I don't know what they're doing. He's like cleaning.
Yeah, he's like,
something?
want some sunflower seeds? And then he like goes back inside. And that's what changes Ledger's mind about her. Because he goes, You were there for me in my worst. Hey, man, you need to just take it easy. You want some sunflower seeds? That's like it.
Which is like, we're not right. We are very much just putting these two male characters in a box.
Yeah.
And we're not adding any sort of depth to them. We're attempting, I think, but we're not really adding depth to them.
Yeah.
Like, could not be more like, this is how guys talk, right?
Yeah.
They don't actually talk about anything. And so it's so annoying because it's like, we don't know how they know each other. We don't know their background. And not that I think we need to know every single thing about their history, but it's like, is this his brother? Is this his cousin? Is this his one of his buddies?
Yeah.
How did he, like, there's no like, hey, remember when I was at, like, there's just none of that. And it was so annoying.
Well, and, you know,
But they work at a bar too, and he's like sober.
Which
That's
is like,
interesting.
that's not the first time I've seen something like that.
Yeah.
But another piece of medium I've seen that in is in One Tree Hill, where one of the characters in that show, who comes in later in one of the later seasons, works at a bar and he's sober. So it's like not the first time I've seen that, and that's whatever. But it's just like, you're just gonna give them sunflower seeds and move on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I would appreciate a little bit. I would have appreciated a little bit more explanation about the mug. Like, we need to know the backstory of the mugs. Like, I
for
have
coffee,
friends
for hot chocolate.
right?
Like,
Well, and I have friends who are sober, and like, am happy to support them in that journey. I have never bought them a mug to celebrate, and it feels like that means something specific. Like, that's not like,
what does it mean?
you know,
Who's
it's not
to
like,
say?
oh, I've got my 1 year sober chip. Like, we all know what
Right.
that is. That's like, we understand that. But like a
Mhm.
mug that's so specific, and it's like, there has to be a story there, and I want to know what it is.
it reminds me of the I think you should leave sketch with the zip line, and she's like, "What's waiting for you at home?" And he goes, "I don't know." She goes, "You don't know?" He goes, "What is the bug for?" I don't know. Okay, this we can wrap up here in a second, but what ends up happening is like, and I roll my eyes so hard when there's a revelation that he's building his house by himself in this beautiful area overlooking the valley, and you're like, okay, they're gonna get together and work it out, and DM's gonna live with them, and they're gonna be a family. It's like, that's what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. But the way that the parents find out that they're in love is they have sex again. You don't see it this time, but you just see them like wake up on the floor in the house that's unfinished.
Super sexy, by the way.
And he turns to her and says, "What happened that night?"
I need to know what happened.
And she's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And she tells him, and after she tells him, Bradley Whitford comes into the house.
No, you're confused.
Yes, that's what happens.
These are two different scenes.
No.
They have sex
It's after.
multiple times in that house.
On
The
I didn't
house.
pick up on that.
Those are two different scenes.
Okay. Well, I thought it was a
And then either way,
Who's to
it's
say?
stupid.
Yeah.
And Bradley Whitford just walks in unannounced, and he sees them together. At first, he just sees Ledger, and is
naked.
like, oh, my bad, and then was like, what is she doing here? And he gets super, super pissed. He storms home. They go back to like find him, and he drops Kenna off. Yes, Isaac.
Okay, and so this area is overlooking the valley, and the next scene where Bradley Whitford punches him in the face for hooking up with her. He punches him like multiple times.
Damn.
That happens in their neighborhood, and so you're like, what? Did he follow him for like 30 minutes back to civilization, like back to this suburb, to like have this all, it's just like so jarring. So that's what I'm just like, I can't not think about the commute, you know?
The way
the 30-minute commute.
If they had just not shot these wide scenery shots, then we wouldn't be sitting here going, how long did it take them to get? If they had just made it more like tighter shots, more compact, we would not be like, did he take 30 minutes to drive? 30 minutes to drive Kenna back to her motel apartment. Another 30 minutes to drive to his house while Bradley Whitford is out in his front yard at 3 a.m. Who knows what time of night it is. It's still dark outside. Punches him in the face. No cops are called. No one hears the commotion.
Right.
No cops are called. The next morning he goes, and it's like, I think it's like the sun is rising. He goes to Kenna's apartment and he's got his face is all busted up, and
Kenna's like, I have to leave.
Yeah, she's like, I guess I have to leave now, and
because he's like become a father figure to DM. Like, yeah, we didn't even tell you that. Like, he's become a father figure to DM.
So
she was like,
yeah,
I can't
he
ruin
wasn't there
this
for
for
Scotty.
her.
He's there for Scotty's kid,
right?
Which is sweet.
Yeah,
and
that's nice.
I can appreciate that. Like, I can appreciate that. Anyway, so she's like, I'm gonna leave so this doesn't ruin anything between you guys and you can still be a part of her life. Da 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 da. While she's like packing up, he steals the journal that has the entry of the night that Scotty died. He gives it to Scotty's parents, Lauren Graham and Bradley Whitford, and Lauren reads it. Lauren Graham reads it, goes to Kenna, and is like, you can meet her, and I can't promise anything past that. And then they're fine. Everything's great.
They have dinner. Lauren Graham cries. And then they get to live together in the house. And she goes, the reminders of you now only make me smile. Or, I know it's been a while since I've written you. Bullshit like that. So, that's the movie.
Wow.
Yep.
5-star masterpiece.
I'm so sad that the power was out at the Cinemark and I couldn't go see this.
You really missed out.
If we had all seen it together, it would have been incredible.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. I would have probably drank a real full-size bottle of Jameson. To be honest.
Not since Madam Web have I seen a movie so like incoherent and nonsensical.
I would rather watch Madam Web.
Me too.
As a little palate cleanser before we finish and wrap up, can I read you guys an excerpt from my favorite excerpt of Colleen Hoover's writing?
Yes.
Okay, so this is from her book Ugly Love. So, here we go. Thank you for this baby, she says from the back seat. He's beautiful. I laugh. You're responsible for the beautiful part, Rachel. The only thing he got from me was his balls. She laughs. She laughs hard. Oh, my God, I know, she says. They're so big. We both laugh at our son's big balls. Also, all those pauses, there's so many commas in that, but that's my favorite Colleen Hoover piece of writing right there.
Olivia looks aghast.
Someone said that Emerald Fennell was the Colleen Hoover of directing. And now that you've read that, because I've seen a couple pieces like excerpts from her writing. That I think is the worst of them, though. So honestly, that's insulting to compare Emerald Fennell to her.
Yeah. I knew Savannah showed me this and I was like shocked. I was like, this is the New York Times bestseller, Colleen Hoover. And do you guys know about her new book? Have you heard about it?
I think I have, but I've blocked it from my memory.
So Colleen Hoover has a new book that is out. Let me look up the title real quick. It is called Woman Down. Woman Down.
Oh, yes, I do know about it.
Yeah, this book is about an author who had a book that was made into a movie, and it received a lot of backlash, and
Oh,
she's figuring
yeah.
out how to navigate that.
Her character is.
Right.
She hasn't had to deal with that.
Yeah. The character in the book, the main character.
Main
in the book.
character of this book.
Petra
Woman Down.
Rose, to be exact.
Petra.
That's like another
I
thing.
wonder if her.
Which, hey, I don't know if this matters to anyone. Petra is the name of a character in Jane the Virgin, which Justin Baldoni was in.
Oh, that means everything to me.
Just a little something there.
I wonder, like, yeah, I wonder if her editor reads this and is like, it doesn't matter what changes I make. Like, it's going to make me so much money. Like, I wonder if it's like, if they have, no, here's second draft. No, here's third draft. We got to keep working on this. Or it's just like, shirts.
We're
Send
gonna
it to
make a ton
print.
of money.
We're going to make so much money.
I don't think there's anything they can do with the amount of commas in that one little sentence, or the like 3 sentences about how big those characters' sons' balls were. Yeah, the editor.
This is a
And
baby
he's
they're
like-
talking
he's
about.
like-
yeah, a child.
A month old.
Yeah. No, yeah, she's an interesting person. And I was there anyone with the last name of a flower, like related to flowers in this? Because Petra Rose, and then the main character, and it ends with us, is Lily Bloom, and she owns a flower shop. So the only 2 things I know, like characters I know about Colleen Hoover, they have are related to
Let me
flowers.
look at the.
So
Let's look
I
at
don't-
these. No, they name.
okay, so she didn't do
Hannah
it for this one.
Ledger.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Good for her.
She loves flowers.
What is DM? Oh, Carpe Diem. Idiots.
Shall I wrap this up for us?
Yeah, let's land this plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's land this plane and not hit any potholes.
Real quick, I've hit some
Yeah.
big potholes in my life. Some really big ones. Like, I don't know if there could be bigger ones than the ones I'm a dumbass and I've hit.
Mm-hmm.
Never come close to flipping my effing car. I mean, what the hell?
I honestly can't remember how they end up in the ditch. I thought they hit a big rock or something.
No, it was a pothole.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
And maybe it was supposed to like bust the tire and then they go, that careens them out of control, but that's not what I remember. I just remember like that sent them into the
Right.
ditch.
Yeah.
Off the
It's
side of
pretty
the road.
wild.
Anyway, thank you for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Share this with someone who is a Colleen Hoover fan so we can infuriate them.
Please, please, please.
And our music is by Corden Jocks. Our art is by Sean Cohen. And thank you to Walter Lyle for producing this episode. Hopefully we get the last 15 minutes back. Sorry about that on the Lego movie episode. Everyone, that was unfortunate, but shit happens, so sorry. And our next episode is Project Hail Mary, arguably the first great movie of... No, there was another one. But first great movie we're covering on the podcast this year. So
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
we didn't cover the Bone Temple. But the Bone Temple was came out the first week of January, and it is going to be in my top 10. It's an incredible.
I have to say about Project Hail Mary, I'm so pumped. I've got my tickets for IMAX at 7:30 on Saturday.
I'm seeing it Saturday.
Let's go.
I might see you
excited.
there.
I'm seeing it with all of Savannah's family, and Savannah's not going to be there because she's going to be in Nashville. So
Oh, okay.
But
Is she going to a bachelorette party?
she is.
All
Who would've
right.
guessed? My
She's
sister's
gonna be big
actually,
scootin'.
but yeah.
Nice.
So I'm so pumped. I read the book last year. It's amazing. I'm excited.
It's gotten really good reviews.
Yeah.
I'm pumped. Let's do it. All right. Thank you guys for listening. We will catch you on the flippity flip.